Happy day. Welcome to Second Lap. It's Rob Matson. Today I am privileged to have my sister, Kathy Traynor, on as a guest. Before we let her introduce herself and ask a bunch of embarrassing questions, we're at 35, 592, with tomorrow being my 10-year anniversary of, I guess, tracking Fitbit. I know that there's probably 30 to 40 days in that period of time where I didn't wear a Fitbit, vacations, time when I was past my, walking around the circumference goal, yet thought that I wasn't doing this anymore. And yet, just like the mafia, it just keeps pulling me back in. Like, hey, you're not acting normal. Go put your shoes on and go for a walk. So 35, 592. I'm going to count tomorrow as well. So 35, 6 and change is what I'm going to end up at. And I think some people have looked through and said, I was 3 away or whatever. So I'm giving away a digital collectible to the person that guessed my closest. It's been going on for about 6 months. So happy day. How are you?
I'm well. Thanks for having me on as a guest. Congratulations. That's super impressive that you're on your anniversary. I feel like I've been on this journey with you a little bit.
Yeah. And I would say, it's 10 years and it's like, it's an index in the book. It's not a finish. It's a journey. And for me, I've really found that it's required. Like, it's how I stay sane in the world that I choose to live in. So I'm excited that you're here as well. I kind of vaguely gave you a couple of ideas of where we would go. The spirit of these are in my original my original podcast, and could at some point encompass in was vaguely specific conversations, which I always saw as irony of, hey, we're going to have these conversations. They're going to be around similar sort of veins, which is lap two, what did I learn from the first lap, kind of best practices, how do we, deal with life and stress and things of that nature. Since we're siblings, I've talked a lot about moving and relocating and adaptability and changing schools. Do
Yeah.
you do you look at that as a credit to your life, or you just look at that as a topic for you and your therapist?
Oh, that's funny. First of all, you do know me as a sibling, so sending me topics to talk about, 30 minutes before this, one would know that I am an over preparer, a planner, and a studier. So, uh, uh, my brain kind of went, like we're going to have this conversation. But let me go back to moving and changing. I am a big fan of change. I do not fall into the category that it stunts me or it paralyzes me. I think change is good, even uncomfortable change. I think it just is a sign of progress. So relocating, changing as growing up, I think actually did us favors. I also feel like the birth order being in the middle, like not having to lead the charge as the head, the firstborn or the baby that gets kind of towed along. I think as a middle child, I feel like I have some ownership of like keeping the calm and the peace and just figuring out go with the flow. So I feel like that's my personality, and I feel like that's how I accepted change growing up and with all those moves. I know that's long winded, but um, I think I'm a half full glass half full kind of girl. So I think change is positive.
I think my original question, which I think you did answer,
Yeah,
which was, do you see this as positive or something that you talk about with your therapist, kind of being
yeah,
sarcastic and snarky? And I think the same. I think it's
yeah,
it's positive. I think that um, it's what makes us different than the other
yeah.
mammals, is compassion and change and understanding and anxiety and all the things that goes along with it. So I'm glad you see it as positive. It blends into another topic I think I was going to go, and I'm not trying to jump around too fast or too quickly, but sort of your management style as somebody that's in high tech management. Do you look at the same sort of statement that you just made about change and people are going through it? And I need to be more adaptive. How do you manage when you live in a world which is the Kobayashi Maru, which is you live in a world where you can't make everybody happy. So how do you attempt to lead where you know that you're sort of up against a battle that can't be won?
Well, I go back to glass half full. I'm a very optimistic leader, but that doesn't come without um, compassion for discomfort.
Okay.
So number one is I just lead from positivity. If anything, change is coming at us. I think in the world of high tech, with the world of AI, I mean, changes daily at this
Yep.
point. I look at, you set goals and quotas, and it's very rigid in in sales. Like you have a quota, you try to attain. The way that technology is changing and products are improving and things are happening in the market, and how quickly, like, customers have to change how they do things. It's faster than I've ever seen in my career, and with that comes change and
Yep.
adaptability to change. So we're seeing a lot of uh, kind of not unrest. That's the wrong word, but just kind of being okay with okay at this point, because there's things may change tomorrow. So I lead from a positive stamp. I always look at the positive. I
Okay.
lead with, like, what are the three things that I can share with my team that they can ground themselves on, that's the positive reason as to why we're doing things. But I also spend a minute reflecting on the discomfort that it causes, or giving time and time for that change, allowing them to have that
Right.
space to give feedback and to make sure that people feel that they're heard when they maybe are not aligned with that change. So I think if you lead with that empathy as well as the positivity, the empathy piece and just giving that space for recognizing the discomfort allows you to get credibility, for the decisions that are made, and your team rallies around you, and wants to be the voice of change, wants to do the positive things, but they almost need the space to have the reflection, to
Okay.
be able to be just in that uncomfortable space for a while. So I would say lead with positivity, but empathy around the discomfort.
What do I'm gonna, I guess I'll ask this as a sales guy's question. What
Sure.
do you, what are you seeing? I'm trying to reframe this question, and then I'm not gonna move as I say it. Are you seeing this change because the market has changed so much, therefore that's why it's so chaotic? Do you
Mm,
think that companies are trying to figure out how to maintain business in a world where, I'm in cybersecurity, and there's
yeah,
3,700 vendors that live in that world, which means that,
yeah.
as a top-notch security person, you're not gonna be able to talk to, every vendor that's out there. So
Hmm.
I see the change as a collapsing market, a merging of, technologies, whatever you want to call it, sort of a maturing. And so I see, as a salesperson, the uncomfortability sort of in answering questions, the change I'm dealing with. I'll give you a first world one. I don't even know if first world is the right way to use that term, but we've now employed an AI role playing sales tool. And you guys may
Hmm.
be way ahead and know, hey, we've been doing this for 2 years, but we just,
Yeah.
as a 5,000 employee company, just employed this. And it's funny hearing other salespeople talking about, hey, what was my experience? The tool told some people that they were too aggressive. It was like that's their style. Like they're going to
Yeah.
cheat. Anyways, but it's is that the kind of thing that you're talking about with the sort of uncomfortable, or what do you think is really driving the uncomfortability? Like, is it just,
Uh-huh.
hey, this is the way the freaking world is? What's driving it?
I think there's uncomfortable on many aspects when it comes to sale, like what I'm talking about. Okay, number one is the customer experience.
Okay.
Technology is changing incredibly fast for our customers, and of course, we're all salespeople, so customer comes first. If
Right.
they The way that AI has come into this market over the last 2 years, is the faster rate of pace than I've seen of any technology, I would say. um, it almost didn't give companies that time to embrace changes or experience what it's going to do to their processes, or how they implement new processes within their companies, right? And then there's this unknown with AI, like, what does the technology mean? Like, how does it impact their workflows? What does it do in their environment? Is it safe? There's so many, I mean, you're in
Well, but let
security.
me Pause
That's
there. Let me
crazy.
ask you. Yeah, I hear
Yeah.
you, and I would say I feel like it's Y2K all over again. That's my interruption point. But my question to
Yeah.
you is, we've been as an organization, once again, just using me and our company,
Sure.
we've been using AI for like 10 years. Like
Same.
it's
Same.
Yeah, then that's what I thought. That's what I thought. That's why I'm
Yeah.
saying it the way I am. And so, as organizations that have had it, it's been in the background, and
Yeah.
because it became Jim Cramer or whoever you want to blame's buzzword that, hey,
Mhm.
this is the way we're going to change it. Now it's, I'm seeing competitors that are changing their name to blank AI. Like
AI.
literally, yeah, it's like literally, really? Are we that? And I'm not going to call us dumb, but are we
But
that able to be, struggling? Go ahead. Sorry.
no, I would say, but I don't think that. So what's interesting is like in this last couple of years, you've had companies creating AI committees to review like legalities, contracts. What does it mean? What can we
Right.
produce? What can we put out online? What does it mean? There's so many different questions that I think, and you're right. If you think about companies, they're changing their names, but not only that, everybody in technology has an AI product. And
Yep.
I'm imagining our customers are getting call, every 5 minutes they're getting a call from a new vendor saying, let me show you my new AI widget or my new AI tool.
Yep.
I think just number one is, just what's happening in people's products and in the rate of change that is happening. I mean, it's out there, but it's so fast and public. I don't know any different way. Maybe it's that a couple years ago, I was watching a Senate briefing where they're actually having committees on, AI and what does it mean for creators and companies. And it's so much, maybe that's because there's more attention being drawn to it in that capacity.
Right.
Or maybe because it now impacts how people do their jobs differently, right?
I was
It's
going to say
there.
the first point you put on, yes, it's
Yeah,
basically regurgitating. I don't want to call it copyrighted, but it's
sure.
regurgitating existing documentation and processes and
Right.
things. I've called it an advanced search type of feature versus whatever. But then, yes, it has this opportunity to, as you've said, affect every aspect of your business.
Yeah.
And so, yes, we've seen the same thing, committees, and I think all the things we've noticed in the past, paralysis, analysis, things like that's
Yes.
gotten in the way as we are both salespeople. And it's like, well, what's to keep you from getting this deal? What's the compelling event to make this thing happen? How do all those strategic
Right.
questions that, make us salespeople, right? I don't want to discount the fact that that's, what makes us unique. And at the same time, yeah, I think there is a lot of complication to what's going on. So I've heard you say empathetic, understanding, let people sit in their pain.
Mhm.
I believe people like you and like working for you. I mean, I've seen it. I I always give you a hard time because I think you work too hard.
Is
Has
that
that
is that
changed?
possible?
Has that
Is that
changed at all? Yeah.
possible?
Me giving you a hard time or you working too hard? Yes, I think
Well,
all of the above. I was saying all of the
yeah.
above. Have you been able to find a way to be more, because I hate the word balance. The word, I mean, every expert that you talk to says that in order to be a exemplary human, you can't be balanced. It just doesn't work. So
Correct.
I don't look for you to be balanced. But have you found, I don't think I know the answer to this because you're coming here to get a second dog, but have you found more joy in being outside and being with nature and doing things that get you away from thinking about spreadsheets and
Yeah.
forecasts and the best way to be empathetic?
Um, Let me answer this. It's crazy. I I
Nobody's going to see this. So just be free.
Everybody, I hope everybody sees. No, I thoroughly enjoy what I do. So let's be very clear. Like I work as hard and my life is as busy as it is because I actually find genuine joy in what I do for a living. Whether it's the technology I'm selling or the people I'm leading or the rate of change that I'm able to impact at work in a positive format, like those things drive me. So I'm very driven by my accomplishments, by my ability to overcome issues, by my ability to make an impact on people. Very
And
driven
that's
by that.
because
So,
you just get one life and you get one meat suit and you get one
correct.
time here. So why
Yeah.
not be impactful? That's what I hear you say, and what I would
Yeah.
say is your brother. Good. Well,
But
and that's
but I
good.
would
Like
say, but I would
they go
but
ahead.
hold on. I would say my life has also allowed me to spend more time working, but I've also balanced that a bit by my kids aren't home. You know this. My kids are both out of
Yep.
the house at this point. My daughter's in her last year of college and my son's been on his own. So that allows me the freedom to spend my time a little bit more on work. So I think you recognize I'm traveling a bit more and I'm doing more
Yep.
there. But also when it gets to my weekends or my protected time is what I say, like I'm up in a mountain hiking with my dog. So I do have that space. I do have space to rejuvenate and recover. And, some seasons of my life look a little bit more complicated and hard, and you're in sales. So end of quarter, end of year,
Yep.
starting quarter, starting, those, there's really impactful busy times in our work life. But on the flip side is like, I think I'm at a point where I now can say I feel balanced, if that's a thing, because I don't have the day to day with my kids being home. So
So the future for those watching this is when your kids leave, you can have a happier life.
yes,
I'm teasing. I'm teasing. I love both your
pretty much.
children.
Yeah,
And I hear you as an empty nester. I mean, we had Tad, like, stick around for a couple
sure.
years post high school, so maybe a little longer. But we've been a couple years empty nesters. I think
Yeah.
it delayed us in getting a dog because, unlike you, we were doing traveling that
Hmm.
made it so that the dogs that we borrowed, because we should dog shared for a couple years, that we could give them back to the other owner and we could go do our thing and not feel any guilt. And so
Right.
traveling and all that kind of stuff. And you did bring that up because that was one of the areas I wanted to focus on. Is you have been traveling.
I have.
I've done a couple of European and India, through London Heathrow kind of
Yep.
flights from Dallas as well as from LA. So I've experienced a little bit of these, and they have literally just kicked my ass. So how have you found, or what kind of tricks have you found, or hey, it's okay if I'm going east, but I got to do this to come back west? I mean, what's your travel tips that's made it easier to not feel like you're being punched by Rocky Balboa every time you come back from a trip?
Yeah. I don't think you can totally prevent it. The time zone swings are brutal. I will say coming home always feels a little better because I always feel like I'm coming back, at least internationally, I'm coming back a day early.
Right.
It appears.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
But a couple of ticks or tricks for me is always arrive the afternoon before. I know a lot of people who will take a red eye out so they could go right into an office at 8 a.m. and they start their workday.
Right.
I can't, I am worthless that day. If I tried that, it does not work for me. So I'm a night before. The time zone is wacky when you get there. So 2 Tylenol PMs and I go to bed. I wake
Okay.
up refreshed. And, I always hit the gym first thing in the morning
Okay.
on that first day because it kind of gets your body thinking, okay, it's my morning routine. This is what I'm supposed to
Right.
do. And then I've, burned off some of that nervous energy. And then I always try to I'm always trying to be back on a Friday early in the day. It's my other
Okay.
trip, just so that I can come back. I can check email really quick because I always say my North America team is still working, so I feel like I can put a pin in any urgent things that might pop up Monday morning when I'm back to my normal routine, and then I have
Right.
a full 2 days to recuperate.
That is as technical as I thought it was going to be. So it's good. So
Yes.
both ways. And I've experienced it. I went when I did my last Europe. I took the ability to go like 36 hours before the event started, and I was actually feeling 70%
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
it started. So yes, and I agree. I think the for me, I'm a walker. I do try and get out and feel the sun, as you said. Let the sun help
Hmm.
set your body into motion. And I've heard many people that go right to the gym, or get up and go right to the gym and start that. Um, how about like hydration? Are you
Oh,
okay? So
I drink
I can't
120
even see you. Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
120 ounces of water a day.
Okay,
So
and is
so when
that
I'm
all
overhydrated.
plain water? Is that
No,
is that ketone, or are you
I
putting
do.
something in your water? What
I
is it?
do. I do. So one 40 ounce is always my pre-workout, which you're supposed to take 8 ounces, but I put it in 40 because I like the flavor. So I drink that
Okay.
first thing before my workout every morning. So I start off the day with 40 ounces in with my pre-workout drink.
Okay.
And it's a natural one, so no caffeine in it. It literally is just electrolytes and, all that fun stuff to get your body, it's got green tea. There you go. It's got green tea in it. So
Does it have any salt? Are you doing anything with salt?
it has salt in it. It is literally a workout drink. So,
Okay.
but then my second bottle of water, have you seen those little dehydrated lemon, lime, and orange flavorings that you can get? They look like a sugar packet, but it's
Yeah.
dehydrated.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah. Yeah.
drink those, two of those in a bottle of water, makes me drink a bottle of water really fast. And
Okay.
then my third is electrolytes. I do like we have a brand right now. We got on Amazon called Squishers. My husband loves them. Jay loves them. You know him.
Squishers. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Squishers. And Jay, flips between lemon, lime, and grape. But he's always excited to get a new flavor. But we're both on this hydration journey together. He has this behemoth water bottle. I have 40 ounces. His is like a day's worth. But we try to, and then that's my third bottle. And then I just drink, that doesn't negate like all the water I'm getting from like a tea at lunch or, a glass of
Sure.
water at dinner. So, but yeah, I'm very, and if I don't have three of those a day at least, I feel it in my body at this point.
Okay. Interesting. I don't.
Mm.
I'm not measuring it to that science. I
Yeah.
think I probably could. I take. I'm currently on LMNT,
Oh,
and
yeah.
that was just to get more salt. I've tried. I think
Mm.
all the other ones that we've either seen together or shared together.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm walking by a guy mowing. But I mix a packet into a pitcher, and then I put a can of sparkling water, and then I put probably twice that much in regular water, so I get the fizz, and I stir it up, and I use that. And so yeah, between the AG1, all of the keto-based water, two
Yep.
cups of coffee, yeah, I'm extremely bathroom driven for the first half of the day. So I need to probably spread it out
Just
like
the
you do.
first, just the first half. Mine is all day in middle of the night. That's the only thing I haven't figured out how to not interrupt my sleep. So yeah,
I've tried a few things. I've tried trying to cut back. It seems like I'm thirsty, especially like right now. It's 90 degrees, feels like 94. I'm sweating all over.
yeah,
I'm drinking what I can, but there's no way. I don't understand it because I'm the same way. I'll have to go for quite a bit, and then I'll get in one of these zones where I'm so kind of hot and moving that I'm not really needing to go to the bathroom. And then
right.
about 10:30, after I've been asleep for an hour and a half, I'm back up, and then sometimes at 2, and it's like, yeah, that was the 6 pack of sparkling water you drank between dinner and 9 o'clock. It's
Yeah. You go to bed at 9 o'clock.
I start. I believe everything is like a habit and a process, and so
Yeah.
I actually will start tuning the room and getting. I turn like our small lamps on in the bedroom. I take off the big fluff pillows that are the decoration but don't have any other function. And Tony, we have I've combined my need for a fan with a Dyson air purification,
Okay.
filtration, whatever you call it, system. So I make sure that that's on level enough that I can sleep well. Brush my teeth. I'm usually a shower 20 minutes before bed, and I take as hot a shower as I can so that my internal core temperature will start to drop, which is what you do when you
Yeah.
go to sleep, right? And
Yeah.
so I kind
Yeah.
of fake the system in that way. And so yeah, I do it. And then I've been having a glass of chocolate milk. I don't know Annie's secret, but she started me on it, and I do all that. And so by the 9:15, I've got all the lights down, I've got the pillows turned down, I've got everything set, and I've made a deal. And if I end up staying up until 10, that's great. But I've already taken my melatonin, so I'm just setting myself up for as best a sleep as I can.
Yeah. That's good. That's
It's a
very
process.
routine. That's very routine driven.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, and this is if you and I are sitting across from me, I tell you this. At the end of the day, the people that I sort of respect and look for advice and sort of elder kind of thing, most of the people talk about be boring, the
Yeah.
same kind of meals, the same kind of routines, put yourself
Yeah.
into a a situation, and you're setting yourself up for, my mission statement says I want to be surfing when I'm 80 years old. So I have to, do and be able to have the physical capabilities now that I'd like to maintain and not, have lost by the time I get to the 30 years from now, whatever it is, say 27 years, not to do the exact math. But yeah, so routines are the way that I've seen and heard people to get the best sort of results. So yeah, make sure you're doing a routine.
I
You're
do
coming.
a
Go ahead.
somewhat of a routine, by the way. Like I can't because I travel so much. There's things that just don't travel with me. So, but I do try to. And then by the way, when I'm traveling internationally, I'm in time zone and I'm busy with work, and that always accompanies a dinner. And then once I'm back in the hotel room, one would think I should prepare myself for bed and do that. But that's actually when North America is working. So I get my
Right.
computer out and I work till 11, 12 at night. Another reason I think that I'm able to acclimate so quickly when I come back is because I just exhaust myself. And so I can put myself to, bed Friday night and I'm up and, fine on Saturday morning. I digress a little bit there, but I do have somewhat of a routine that's thrown off by my travel. Mhm.
I was going to ask you, is there anything that is thrown off? Because we've gotten to the point where, like, when we go on extended vacations, we take a suitcase that's got double duty. On the way down, it's got all of our apples for our daily apple. It's got all the, fruits and vegetables, things that we would want to have to maintain our
Yeah.
um, habits, things like that, eating properly, things like that. And then it's Annie's shell collection bag for the trip home.
Yes.
So are there any
Yes.
are there
Yeah.
any like things that, like, I don't take I would think you would take, hydration packs with you, and you're taking the
I do.
same water bottle with you and just clipping it on your bag, things like that. Um, assume you're
I take,
taking your workout shoes. What is it that you're not
I
able to
do.
maintain when you are traveling?
Probably, I mean, I don't take my full face wash routine only
Okay.
because I have been maniacal about packing a carry-on because we could spend a whole podcast on how many times my luggage has been lost on travel. So I'm really good at, I can get a 5-day business trip into a carry-on bag, which mad props to me because I'm a
They've
classic
lost
overpacker.
your bag enough that you don't trust to check the bag for international flying?
I don't. Stateside too. I have lost my bag on probably 6 business trips in North America. Yeah,
That's crazy. Like, what are the odds? Like, you have to
always.
be an odd man out.
I am, and I just happened to go to, so my last one in North America was in Utah. Probably, I think it was our first trip after COVID.
Okay.
I packed a checked bag. It was a 2-day trip. It's the only one of the 2 only hubs in that Alaska Airlines doesn't have a contract to overnight your bag to you.
Okay.
So literally got my bag the afternoon we were flying back home. It was crazy.
We take a bag on the plane that has, and we really are. I'm I'm not talking international for work trips, so it's just ours is for
Sure.
vacation. So we take, 2 bikinis and 2 pairs of shorts and,
Yeah.
a couple pairs of underwear, that kind of thing, so that if there is the, as you described, but I've had pretty good luck. I'm
Yeah.
digressing because I'm like, man, I would hate to try and have to pack 5 days into a bag that has to make the plane. But that means you've gotten better at it, right?
Yes. Yes. I'm really good at it. Yes. Yes.
And you're not doing your full face routine. That's really the
I
only
do not,
thing. Everything else you can sort of, you can
I
plan
don't have a
your.
fan. So you mentioned your Dyson. I don't have my fan. I have tried the app on your phone. It does not, my brain is like, I'm too smart for it. It's like, that's not a fan. So,
So you're saying
that
I'm
doesn't work.
dumb. That sucks.
No, 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 no. What I'm saying is my,
I use Sleep Fan
really, it
on my
doesn't work
phone.
for me. It doesn't work for me.
There's like 15 or 20 different
Yeah.
kind of fans, and so I've just chosen one that it's loud enough that I know it's there, but it's
Yeah.
quiet enough that I can't distinguish that it's not me being at home.
What's interesting is Jay obviously can't, he's a big fan guy. And we used to, when
Yeah.
we travel on vacation, we're the first ones at a Target or a Walmart getting a fan because we don't, clearly can't put a floor fan in your bag. He has to have like the big fan. So we have these little portable ones, but that little portable one takes so much space in my suitcase that I don't do it for my work travel. But I've tried every app, I've downloaded like every one that's been white noise, anything, and nothing works for me. That little fan I can do, I just don't have the luxury of space for it.
I wonder if you can clip it to the outside of your bag. I'm going to solve your issue for you. The
Okay.
fan and yeah, I'll work on it. Um,
Okay.
you're you're coming to visit me,
I am.
and you're coming to visit me not solely, but a lot because you're getting
A second pup.
a second dog.
Hmm.
Talk to me about that. Is that, hey, because I had many times, and Annie and I talked about this morning. This is the first time I've ever had just one dog. Like I've never
Yeah.
been a one dog guy, and
Yeah.
I actually can't see myself having two. So what's driving you to two?
That's okay. So number one is I got my dog because I like to hike. I like to be outdoors, and I wanted a hiking dog. So we
Yeah,
notoriously, we've always been an English bulldog family. They don't like to walk. They don't like to do anything. So
right.
we, when my kids left, my husband likes to golf. I like to go up in the mountains. So I got a big dog. I got a Bernedoodle. He's 85 pounds. He thinks he's a 10-pound lap dog, but he's amazing. He loves to be outdoors. He fits the bill.
Say his
What I
name,
didn't, Kevin. What I did not,
Kevin. Yes, everybody heard that correctly. Go ahead.
Kev- Kevin is his name. So what I did not account for with a Bernedoodle, and I guess it's a known doodle thing, they're very codependent.
Okay.
People get dogs for, emotional support. I'm his emotional support human. So he is very connected to me. And what we found, we have a bunch of friends with animals, and what we have found is he loves his friends, obsesses. And when his
Okay.
friends go home,
Okay.
he's depressed for 2 days. So for 2 days, he mopes in a corner, he hides behind our dining room table. He is so sad.
Yep.
So our drive to get a second dog is to emotionally support our dog.
That's twice as much poop and twice as much food, and so you're
Please,
cool with that. But
please never talk to my husband.
that's who I was thinking of when I said both those
Yes.
statements.
Well,
Interesting, and I
he
think,
loves his
and I,
yard.
it's
Mhm. Mhm.
well, and that's, as I said, that's what I was thinking of when I was thinking of
Yes.
the doubling of all of the systems. I I hear you, and we experienced Sunshine has quite a few friends, and we went to Colorado for the fourth, and she became a cattle dog.
Yes.
Thought she was 60 pounds or 70 pounds, not 11 like the rest, and I see
Yeah.
that, and we come back, and she mopes around for a couple of days. She comes back out of it, and she comes back out of it, and we become friends again. And I don't know. I just part of it's I don't want to share her
Oh
with
yeah.
another dog. I guess it's weird. It's kind of
Mhm.
weird that way. And anyways, I love. Okay,
What's really funny though is, Jay does love his yard. Oops, did I lose you?
did you lose me?
Oh, there you go. Now you're back. Yeah, you were off a little bit. I was going to share. My husband does love his yard, and I was the one pushing the dog, the first dog. But what has come out of
Okay.
this having Kevin just be the adorable creature that he is, Jay is excited about a second dog because he said, "You can have the next one. Kevin is mine."
Why are men that way?
Oh no,
Why do they got to be that way?
I know.
That's well. I'm glad that he's loves the dog
Yeah.
and is willing to still share him with you.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, you can't take a dog to a golf course,
You
so
cannot.
you've at least got that going for you. Well, it's great. Well, hey, I am conscious of the time. I appreciate everything you've given. Sorry, we got a little bit of a late start.
No
Hope
worries.
that you've had enough entertainment that you'll come back and I'll come up with better questions and we'll
Of
talk through
course.
and you'll have had visited me and
Yeah.
where did you say you were going right after you were here? You're heading to
Tokyo.
Tokyo. What's the
Yes.
most leave my guess. Have you been to Tokyo before?
Yeah, that's my second trip there. Mhm.
Second trip. What is the thing that you look forward to the most in Tokyo? Is it noodles? Is it, don't tell me it's karaoke.
No. Oh my gosh, it's their pet cafes.
Okay.
I held a hedgehog. I held a uh ferret. They had a cat cafe, dog cafe, mini pig cafe. I saw an owl.
Are people
Um,
actually eating in these restaurants as well?
no, they have snacks and
Okay.
they have beverage vending machines. So when you leave, you can get the thing is you get a free beverage on your way out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. But it's more about getting in there and just socializing with the animals and petting
Yeah.
animals, and
I didn't
that's
know what
cool.
it was a thing when I was walking around on my last trip. I left the office and did a little walk around and I passed a cat cafe, then turned into a dog cafe. And then somebody in the office is like, well, we have hedgehog cafes. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. So that Google it and they have every kind of pet you could possibly want to see or animal for that matter. Mhm.
That's crazy. I wish we did more of that here. We've the closest I've experienced is I've been to a couple of conferences, like in a stadium where they've had like a pet, a dog sort of deal
Yeah.
where you come in and they've got all the rescue dogs and looking for somebody to take. But I've not actually seen a air quotes cafe dedicated to a hedgehog that people can just walk in. That's kind of cool.
I will tell you what I will never want and what I learned through that because I toured the mini pig cafe. I
Okay.
don't like pigs.
Is that because you love bacon like I do, or what do you think causes
No,
that?
it's because they're super loud and the high pitch shriek sends me into fight or flight. I wanted to leave and they want your attention, so they squeal at you, coming up to you, and then I don't know,
It has the opposite effect on you as that they're going for.
correct. My first reaction was I gotta leave.
Well, I love bacon, so I wouldn't want to get close to him anyway. So I
Yes,
hear you.
there's that too. There's that too. Mm.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.
We will do this again, and next time we can talk about your hiking and what you
Okay.
do and how you prep and things like that. So love you, appreciate it,
Love you too. Thanks
and,
for having me.
and yeah, enjoy the rest of your day.
You too. Talk to you soon.
All right, bye.
Bye.